10 mistakes that caused the sinking of the Titanic. Number 10. Tides. Higher waters bring a higher risk. In 2012, a group of astronomers at Texas State University published research on the impact of tides in January 2012 that could be attributed to the sinking of Titanic. It appears that during its maiden voyage, the sun, the moon, and the earth were aligned in such a way that would result in higher tides and, in turn, more icebergs along the Titanic's route. Number 9. Climate. Warmer weather bring impending doom. According to Richard Norris of the Scripps Institution of Oceanography, warmer than usual waters in the Gulf Stream could also be a contributing factor in this tragedy. The increase in temperature at the time of Titanic's maiden voyage resulted in a more significant number of corralling icebergs along the ship's path, ultimately leading to its demise. Number 8. Portholes. An oversight leading to a downfall. After Titanic struck the iceberg, passengers, curious to review the damage, opened their porthole windows to look out. This was most certainly one of the mistakes that caused the sinking of the Titanic. As panic flared, passengers were advised to make their way to higher decks. The portholes were left open, enabling water to enter the sinking ship at a more rapid rate. Number 7. Watertight doors. A logical approach which proves deadly. As the water began filling the lower decks, closure of the watertight doors commenced. Indeed, this seems like a logical approach. However, if they had been left open, the water would have traveled through the ship's tunnels, equally flooding the vessel. This would have given its passengers and crew more time to devise makeshift rafts, given that there were a few lifeboats on board to save all souls. Number 6. Rivets. Bigger is not always better. Due to the sheer size of the Titanic, its bow could not fit in the Harland and Wolff shipyard in Belfast. As a result, the bow's rivets had to been finished by hand, as opposed to hydraulics. Yet another one of the mistakes that caused the sinking of the Titanic. Simply put, the ship's infrastructure was not sturdy enough to withstand such impact due to the hand-fixed rivets. Number 5. Fire. A coal fire that ignited danger in the hull. One of the less discussed mistakes that caused the sinking of the Titanic is a crucial one. 10 days before the ship's maiden voyage, a fire broke out in the coal bunker. This fire continued to burn wildly into the journey, and when met with the freezing Atlantic waters on collision, the steel hull's integrity was severely compromised. Number 4. Short-sightedness. One of the main mistakes that caused the sinking of the Titanic. Another factor that greatly added to the tragedy that struck the Titanic was a case of short-sightedness. As the ship left Southampton en route to New York, there was a reshuffling of officers. During this switch, the preceding officer failed to hand over the key which accessed the binoculars. Without these, the Titanic's officers were left blind to the dangers that lay ahead. Number 3. Agility. Too big to bypass. A lack of agility is another one of the mistakes that caused the sinking of the Titanic. William McMaster Murdoch, the ship's first officer, ordered the engine room mere moments before impact to reverse the vessel. However, due to the engineering of the stern, his intentions were unachievable. The propeller could only be halted, not reversed. This lack of agility in the face of danger greatly added to the ship's demise, as it could not, at such short notice, navigate out of harm's way. Number 2. Speed. Too fast to steer clear. Fundamentally, the ship was traveling too fast to be able to handle any challenges which lay ahead. Simon Mills, owner of the HMS Britannic, Wreck comments, "The simple fact is that she was going too fast. 20 knots in an ice field. Had she been going slower, she may have missed the berg." Number 1. Icebergs, the ultimate hazard. The poor navigation of icebergs is undoubtedly the most well-known and momentous of mistakes that caused the sinking of the Titanic. Indeed, the collision between the Titanic and an iceberg on the 14th of April 1912 at 11:40 p.m. is what caused the tragedy. However, as seen above, this is a result of many mistakes, including poor leadership, engineering, natural factors, and human error.